Hello beautiful souls and welcome to my channel Roseology. So today's video is inspired by the new moon that we are having in the sign of Leo, August 18th to 19th. It's going to change depending on where you live in the world, but you can do a quick Google search to narrow down that exact date and time. So in this video we are going to be covering the astrological chart, as well as I do have a pick a card reading that will be included after the astrological breakdown or forecast of this new moon happening in the sign of Leo, where we're going to be discussing what this energy is conjuring up, as well as all the other astrological aspects and placements and things like that. So we're going to be diving in pretty deep into this energy today, but you can head down to the comments in the description section down below for the timestamps to different points and topics discussed in this video. So let me go ahead and get a couple of the disclaimers, announcements, I don't know, out of the way. So basically, first things first is no, I'm still not taking any sort of personal readings. Probably not going to be for the rest of this year, honestly. No, I do not have any social media. I do not plan on making any. I do keep getting asked if you guys can reach out to me personally. So yeah, feel free to send me some emails if you'd like. I will start leaving my email down below for you guys to have a little bit easier access to me. Now that all that is out of the way, let's go on ahead and jump straight into this astrological portion of the video because we have a lot to cover. So the first things first that we need to discuss is a new moon. What is a new moon? So a new moon happens when the sun and moon are conjunct with each other. And so all this means is that they are sitting very, very close to each other. And this is why during the new moon, we cannot see the moon. And the sun represents our ego, right? This is the way that we identify, the way it is that we see ourselves. It's that surface layer of us. Moon handles the subconscious, the more so internal version of us, the part of us that is covered up by different layers of the ego. And so when the sun and the moon, or our subconscious and the ego, are kind of synchronized with each other, this can cause the internal self to kind of filter through a few things to kind of slip out every now and then during the new moons, because at any other point in time, it's usually very easy for us to kind of suppress the subconscious, more so internal or emotional self. And so it's very easy for that kind of mask of the ego to fall off, or it's very easy for the subconscious internal self to be more expressed on the surface level. So let's go ahead and talk briefly about Leo energy, because I really covered Leo energy last full moon video a couple of weeks ago. I will link that down below in case you guys want to know a little bit more about this Leo season, this Leo energy that we are in. Briefly discussing it, Leo rules the 5th house, and Leo is the sign that is ruled by the sun. And when we look at the sun, what happens with the sun? In our solar system, every planet and celestial body revolves around the sun. People sort of generalizing Leo energy is very egocentric, and this is because Leo is very in tune with its ego. It's very much so all about expressing itself. So this new moon in Leo is unlike any other new moon that we experience throughout the year. Moon is in the sign of Leo, and Leo is ruled by the sun. This is almost like a intensified new moon. It's very amplified. We've already experienced the full moon in the sign of Leo 2 weeks ago. So, and normally when we deal with the full moon, we're dealing with very intensified sort of energy. And so with a new moon, when the moon is invisible, we're dealing with a little bit less intense energy, right? It's kind of like this blank canvas, this clean slate where we kind of get to start over. So normally I would say that with this new moon in Leo, that we're kind of coming down off of this high of Leo energy, but that's so not the case, because we have a lot of retrogrades and we have a lot of different astrological placements. It's actually kind of flatlining Leo's energy. So it's not like Leo energy is sort of fluctuating. It's not like we're coming down. It's not like it's getting spiked up. It's kind of flatlining. And so right now, like I said, very many of us have been experiencing some sort of an ego death, or an ego reconstruction, or an ego makeover in a sense. And so there's a lot that's happening with this external layer of us, and what's happening is it's trying to match the internal part of us, because the internal part of us has really been, especially since the beginning of this year 2020, the internal part of us has been really getting remade, and it's really been transforming itself. It's been in a state of metamorphosis. The sun, it shines whatever is inside of it, right? And so if something was to change with the sun, it's going to reflect that. It's going to reflect whatever is going on internally. So whatever has sort of transformed in you internally is what you're going to sort of be, is what your outer surface layer self, your ego, is going to start to emulate. For me, this past week was really intense, really emotional, and you guys probably didn't even really know, but I especially within this last week, I received so many encouraging words from you guys, and it was crazy to me that I saw like this kind of like increase in these comments from you guys, because it's like you guys just knew that I needed some uplifting words, and I really want to take the time right now to thank you guys for that, because it really did help me get through this week. This week was just super intense for me. I'm a Leo moon, so it was super duper intense for me. And yeah, I kind of had to really take some time and kind of deal with that. But you guys' words really helped, and just thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate that, because you don't even know. I was just, I was just having a very emotional week. And every time I would see one of you guys' comments, like just trying to uplift me and encourage me, I just had like I would just have like another breakdown, because I'm just like, oh my God, like, thank you. Like, you guys didn't even know how your words were touching me and helping me. So thank you guys so much for that. And I know that sometimes, like, when you are watching astrologers or tarot readers or whatever, I don't like to proclaim to be any of those things. I like to just say, like, I'm just me, I'm just Hazel, I'm just sharing my thoughts on the current energetic forecast. But when you're watching different kind of people in this field, I remember as a kid, I used to think in my head, like, one thing that I used to be petrified of was tornadoes, right? And as I would watch tornado warnings and stuff on the news, I would always look at like the weather forecasters, and I would be like, man, like, or the meteorologists, and I'd always be like, where are their headquarters at? Because they always seem fine, right? And so, it's funny that I'm kind of doing this publicly in a public forum, because people can kind of get the idea that, like, when you're watching a tarot reader, an astrologer or something like that, and we're talking about the energetic forecast that we are feeling empathically, or that putting our predictions out there, a lot of people can kind of think that, like, we're not dealing with the same sort of energies, but we definitely are, okay? Like, let me tell y'all, this Leo energy last week hit my ass. And like I said, I'm a Leo moon, so it really struck me hard. Thank you guys for just seeing me as like another person, as like another human, and not as like somebody just online that you watch, because I really appreciate like that personal connection that it feels like we kind of are developing, or that we have developed over the last year. Let's go ahead and jump into the astrological portion of this reading. The very first thing that we're going to be talking about here is this new moon in Leo. Okay, so I told you guys a couple of weeks ago in my full moon in the sign of Aquarius video that we just had, I told you guys then to get ready for mid-August, because shit's about to get cracking, because we are about to enter into full-blown retrograde season for a good month. For a good month, we're going to have 6 planets retrograde, 6 planets. And for a good week, in the first half of September, we're actually going to have 7 planets retrograde when Mars decides to go retrograde after like the first week of September. So at the time of the new moon in the sign of Leo, we're going to be dealing with 6 planets that are currently retrograde. So I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago with that full moon in Aquarius video. It's really kind of hard to know what to expect with so many different planets retrograde, but I knew it was something that we were going to have to get prepared for. I personally did not see these explosions happening, and honestly, that's not even something that I would want to see. That's not something that I would want to predict. That's not something that I would want to be right about. But I did kind of know that there might be something that we have to sort of prepare for. I mentioned as well how it could be something like earthquakes or something that we deal with globally, because if there's one thing that 2020 has taught all of us, is that we have to be each other's keeper. Like, we have to look out for each other. It doesn't matter what country you're from, what skin color you are, it doesn't matter. None of it matters, like, we have to really try to band together right now. So it's 6 planets being retrograde, happening August 16th. I've always described retrograde planets on my channel as these planets eating their own energy. They're eating their own momentum. So it's kind of like when you are driving on the highway, right? And so as you come to a halt, when you slow your car down, all that momentum that was trailing your car, it has to go somewhere. It goes right into your car. This is inertia, right? Anything in motion stays in motion. And in that momentum is information about where that planet has come from. Because when we're dealing with a retrograde planet, it doesn't mean the planet is moving backwards. It looks that way from planet Earth. But what it's actually doing is it's slowing down. So there's a lot of information about where it is that they've come from. And they're kind of sitting there reflecting on that energy. They're kind of sitting there marinating in that energy. So this is why when we're dealing with a lot of retrogrades, it's kind of about stalling, sitting, reflecting. But this is an opportunity for us to gain a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, a lot of insight about our journey so far and about where it is that we're going. This is also a time of rest mode for us, pause mode, where we can say, you know what, I don't like what I dealt with, or I don't like where I came from, or I don't like what I experienced with this situation or with this person. How do I sort of prevent that moving forward? So this is the perfect time for us to sort of pause, reflect, gain some insight, and pivot if we need to, kind of pivot our directions if we need to. So things really come to a halt when we are reflecting on a realization, when we're dealing with a retrograde planet. This is all about those changes sinking in. This is all about acceptance. And that's usually how I describe retrograde planets as well, as this is those changes sinking in. So now we're really sitting in this atmosphere, completely immobilized. So 6 retrograde planets means that, like I was saying before, we're sort of sitting in this Leo energy. It's like it's flatlined. Because retrograde energy, it adds a lot of weight and density to these planets. We can actually feel more pressure when we're tasked with sitting still, when we're tasked with sitting in such dense, heavy energy. Okay, so I don't like this, I want to get out of it. And it makes us kind of want to pick up and go, but we're really being asked to sit. And so just going back to my own personal experience this past week, I had to really sit in that energy, and I knew better than to try to rush my way out of it, because that was my first thought, was like, okay, what can I do to kind of get myself, kind of lift up my energy levels? And I was like, you know what? No, I don't want to lift up my energy levels, because actually right now, this is a really good time for me to take a peek or a view inside a part of myself that is still somehow bothered in some way, shape, or form. Beforehand, maybe a few years ago, I would have looked at this as like a bout of depression. And these aren't bad days. What this is this is me processing, And so it's like bad days are going to happen. Hard times are going to happen. There's going to be moments where we have to grieve and cry or get angry, defend ourselves, whatever the case may be, where it's like we're taken out of that Zen state, Whenever we're taken out of that Zen state, sometimes we see it as like a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. And so I saw it as like you know what? This is like normal. I'm just sort of going through like a process right now. And basically what's happening is I understood and I knew immediately some part of me is being integrated. Some part of me is developing some sort of insight or awareness, but it's just like parts of you have to be cracked open first in order for you to be able to look into it and understand it better. And so I knew that was happening. And so I kind of just like braced myself and said, you know what? It's kind of like when a hurricane is coming and you stack up with all this water and you stack up with all this food and you get a generator and, you just binge watch Netflix until the storm passes or something like that. It's kind of like that when you're dealing with your own personal hurricanes. It's time for you to stack up on water. It's time for you to stack up on food. It's time for you to stack up on all these spiritual meals, basically, where it's kind of like you bunker yourself down and you say, you know what? Okay, I'm just going to have to ride this out for the next couple of days or however long this takes for me to transmute this energy, because we are natural transmuters. This body is a tool to transmute energies. That's why we're here in this 3D realm. That's why we're here on Earth, to transmute energies. This is actually something that I heard waking up out of my sleep maybe like a month or so ago. I had actually heard that we're here to transmute certain energies. We're here to either release or take on other energies. We're given this great tool of being able to kind of take energies and transform them. We don't have to allow them to weigh down our energy or to bear on us, And it's going to take time. It takes time, especially when very many of us, we didn't grow up knowing how to utilize these tools. We didn't grow up knowing that we had these tools. We didn't grow up knowing that we had this power. Many of us had to find it on our own. So be patient with yourself and give yourself the time that you need to process and that you need to transmute things. For me personally, what I did was I was just like, it's just going to be a couple days here where I'm just kind of out of business and got to close up shop, cry my way through it, journal through it, talk about it. And like I said, the people that actually really helped me through this week was you guys, as well as my mom. I talked to my mom. She prayed for me. I cried with her. And it was just an emotional week for me. But, I knew that I had to sort of wait for my energy to be at a different level before I recorded this video. And so I'm feeling amazing today, but this is exactly what happens. It's a process. So when we're dealing with a planet that goes retrograde, we're dealing with an energy that is much more palpable, it's much more apparent, and it's much more direct. So it can feel like I said, that's why with retrograde planets, it can actually feel like we have a lot more pressure on us than normal. You would think that we'd have a lot more pressure when they're moving thousands of miles an hour, but it's actually when they slow down is when we really, really, really feel these energies. And with this happening in Leo season, Leo being ruled by the sun, what's happening is we are sitting in the energy of illumination. We are sitting in the energy of truth. That can be very difficult because illumination melts away illusions, pretenses, facades, and the surface layer. And what we're left with is the truth. There's this saying, that there's your truth, my truth, and the truth, right? And I've heard people argue that before and say, no, it's just one truth. And it's like, yeah, you're right. There is only one truth. But you have to understand the truth has multiple angles to it. Imagine walking up to a building. Imagine walking up to the Empire State Building, right? And you're meeting up with a friend. You come from the south side. Your friend comes from the west side. Both of you are going to see the same building, the same Empire State Building, right? But you're going to see different angles of it. So that's exactly what the truth is. It's like, yes, there's one truth, but there's all these different aspects and ways of saying it. These different angles are dependent upon our perception and the different experiences that we've had in our life. Because of the journey that I've walked, the truth speaks differently to me. I have a different language with the truth because of the journey that you've walked, because of the life that you've lived. You have a different perception of the truth. It doesn't make my perception more right than yours or your perception more right than mine. If anything, if we can sort of set down our differences and come together and say, hey, well, this is how I see it and this is how I see it, we can see more of the truth. This is what is happening with this new moon in Leo and with these 6 planets that are retrograde. We are seeing so many different versions of the truth. All of these different versions of the truth are being liquidated into one version of the truth. So it's no more your perception and my perception. No, there's just one perception now. And that takes a lot to get used to, because it's like, but I was seeing this one way this entire time. Now I have this other angle that I have to process, that I have to metabolize. And so that's a lot to take on. So be patient with yourself, okay? The very first placement that we're going to be talking about here is we have the Sun, Moon, and Mercury all conjunct in the sign of Leo. So, and this conjunction is happening in the later degrees of the sign of Leo. So we've talked about what the moon represents and what the sun represents. So Mercury represents the mind. He's the god of the mind, of intellect. So I see Mercury as like this bridge. I see him as like the crossroads, almost as like, I don't know if you guys know who Papa Legba is, but he is this deity in either the Ifa or Voodoo religion. He's known as a trickster in a sense. And so is Mercury. Mercury is also as well known as a trickster. So I always see their energies very, very linked together. And they say in Ifa or Voodoo, you have to go through Legba to access the spiritual realm, to access the Orishas and the other Loa. I see Mercury energy is exactly like that. If it was not for Mercury, I would not be able to bridge my perspective to your perspective or to any other perspective. Life would be extremely black and white. It would be extremely just biased because I wouldn't be able to bridge my understanding to someone else's understanding. I wouldn't be able to relate. So Mercury is the planet of relatability. That's how I see him. For this new moon in Leo in particular, all these different perceptions are being liquidated. We're seeing all of the truth, not just one angle or one side or one viewpoint, but we're seeing all of it now. We're seeing a lot more of it than we ever have before. This is a lot to process. But this is why I'm saying that, because we have the sun, moon, and Mercury conjunct in the sign of Leo. As well as when it comes to Mercury, Mercury is the ruler of the magician card, right? So it's much more easy to manifest as well. When we're dealing with Mercury, when we're dealing with later degrees of a particular sign, it's much more easier to manifest. So especially during Leo season, you may have thought of someone and then boom, they hit you up or they text you. Or you may have thought of a song and it just starts playing randomly on the radio. So there's a lot of different things that we're kind of manifesting without really being aware or without really trying to manifest. And the magician card is a state of being. Mercury is a state of being because it rules the perception. What is the perception? Perception is reality. What is reality? Reality is very fluid because it is a state of being. It is whatever it is that we say it is. So we're very much in control over what our reality is if we assume that control. Mercury gives us the ability to kind of assume that control. But this is why he's known as a trickster, because he's so fluid. Reality and perception is so fluid. There's this law, universal law called the law of mentalism. But basically, Thoth, the Egyptian god Thoth, or the Kemetic Neter, Tehuti. The first law is the law of mentalism. And it's this idea that we all share a common or collective consciousness, which we know that to be the case. There's things that we are able to know about each other without necessarily knowing each other. So this kind of supports the idea there is some sort of collective brain that we all share. There's some sort of collective mind that we all share. It has to be, right? So this is all about a state of being. This is all about us deciding, this is what I want in my life. This is what I want my future to look like. This is the state of being that I need to assume right now, even if my circumstances don't agree with it, even if my circumstances are opposing the state of mind. I need to put myself in that sort of aspect. And so Mercury really helps us to do that. And this is why the magician is so powerful, because he realizes I got everything it is that I need in order for me to will something into being. I'm just going to assume it and it will be. So he's all about willpower, and Leo energy is all about willpower. This is solar plexus chakra energy right here, where we are dealing with our own internal strength and power. So at this point in time right now, it's very easy for us to will or intend or direct ourselves in and out of situations. So especially if you're going through an intense or a difficult time, a complicated time, don't forget your power. Okay, so allow yourself to flush out all those sort of toxic energies and emotions, because that's exactly what we're doing when we are expressing ourselves, when we're grieving, when we're crying, when we're upset. What is happening is these emotions, these toxic emotions, these kind of energetic toxins are being released from our body. Anger isn't necessarily waste. Emotions isn't necessarily waste. Sadness isn't necessarily waste. It's just the point that we don't need it. And the spiritual body is saying, this is a little too heavy for me to carry. Just like a cloud. When a cloud gets too heavy because it's carrying so much moisture, or it's carrying so much humidity, that it has to release it and it starts to rain. Same exact thing. Moving on here to the next placement that we're going to be talking about is Venus in the sign of Cancer. So Venus in the sign of Cancer makes things even easier to manifest. Now, Venus is the planet that rules Libra and Taurus. Now, I'm a Taurus sun. So Venus energy is one that I dove into very extensively when I first got into astrology. And one thing that I came to realize is that Venus rules the five senses. She rules the way that we connect to this physical world around us. So I see Mother Maiden Crone as the moon, Venus, and Neptune / Pluto sometimes. That's just how I personally see it. Now, it's going to be different for everyone. You know, for some people, they don't see these planets as feminine. Some people see it as masculine. Just like the ancient Egyptians, ancient Cometians, they saw Earth as masculine. They saw the moon as masculine. So it changes for everyone. We don't have to be the astrological police around here, okay? It's different for everybody. Me personally, Venus is a divine feminine at her most attractive phase. Neptune captivates, almost entraps us in a sense. And the moon it mystifies us. It's very mysterious. It almost perplexes us in a sense. So Venus is helping us to attract. Because she is in the sign of Cancer, Cancer is ruled by the moon, and both of these planets, both of these energies represent the divine feminine at different stages. So the moon you can kind of see as maybe the crone. Some people also see the moon as the mother. So that's how Venus and the moon are interacting with each other. Now Venus is also trining Neptune, who is retrograde in its native sign of Pisces. And Neptune retrograde is also sextiling Pluto retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. So all these sort of mother planets, or these feminine planets, the moon, Venus, Neptune, and Pluto. Pluto is known as the dark mother to some. All these planets are somehow interacting with each other. And so with all this feminine energy interacting and exchanging with itself, this makes us highly attractive. In other words, this makes us very easy and able to manifest without even trying. So beware of your focus, because focus is intention. Energy already knows what to do. It just needs direction. Focus is intention. Intentions are directions. When we are manifesting, setting intentions, what we are doing is we are directing energy. We are saying, this is what I want, or this is what I need, or this is what I want to release. And there's this almost very perfect symmetrical balance between masculine and feminine energies for this new moon in Leo. And when you bring together masculine and feminine energies, what do you get? You get fertility. You get production. So try to, if you can, especially if you're going through an intense or a complicated or emotional time, try to keep your focus from saying that this is so hopeless or this is never going to change, it's never going to get better. And instead try to dive into why you feel that way. Well, why do I feel like it's not going to get any better? Maybe this is stemming from something that I heard in my childhood. Maybe this is stemming from what it is that I saw growing up. Maybe this is stemming from my environment. If you cannot locate the origin of why you are feeling something, then this is a for sure indicator that you have taken on something, some sort of emotion or energy or issue or inner demon that was never yours, that never belonged to you. So now moving on to the next astrological placement that we're going to be discussing is Mars in the sign of Aries, trining the Sun, Moon, and Mercury in the sign of Leo. Now, Mars is a planet I've always described as he is the reason that we do the things that we do. He's known as the god of war because somebody that is charging headfirst into war on the front lines, they are willing to put their lives on the line because they believe in something that much. Every single day we're on the front lines, spiritually as well as even physically for very many of us, because we are engaging with so many different types of people and energies all day, every day. So spiritually, we're almost always on the front lines. But Mars energy definitely translates as this is the reason that I get out of bed in the morning. This is the reason that I go to work, or this is the reason why I do this or I do that. This is the reason why I eat healthy, because there's some sort of point to it. And so this is why I also say that Mars is the god of tolerance. In order for you to have what you want, there are certain things that you have to let go of. There are certain things that you cannot tolerate. There are certain things that you cannot have in your life. And so Mars is very, very protective energy over us. And Mars will not allow anything to come into our vicinity that is not going to help us win that war, win that battle. Just like we were discussing Mother, Maiden, and Crone with Venus, Neptune, the Moon, and kind of Pluto, it's the same exact thing with the masculine energy. So Mars is the masculine energy in his most active form. So this is very youthful, lots of energy, impulsive, driven, but extremely focused. And so Mars in the sign of Aries, trining the Sun, Moon, and Mercury in the sign of Leo, is here to help us believe what we see or what we have become aware of or what we realize. He is here to help us realize things and to say, no, this is the truth. Now, how are we going to work with it? No, this is the case. Now, how are we going to use this to help us win this war? So Mars sees everything as this is a tool to help me win this war. And if you're not a tool that I can use, then you got to get the hell up out of here. I don't know where you're going to go, but you got to get the hell up out of here. That's Mars's energy all day. And because Mars is the god of war, this means he really, really knows how to scout a fight. I mean, he is gifted in knowing how to scout a fight and how to say what battle is and is not worth our time and energy. He doesn't rush. Just because he's the god of war doesn't mean he rushes into every battle and into every fight and into every war. He's actually very selective about it. He actually goes, not worth my damn time. And if it is worth his time, then he's almost impulsive. He's almost ready to go at any point in time. And the thing about Mars is he is currently in the sign of Aries. Mars rules the sign Aries. So him being in his native sign is almost him really sort of like pushing, or not pushing, but he's helping us to accept the ideology. I don't know if you guys know the scripture, prayer without works is dead. Basically what this means is that you can pray all day, but if you're not going to put some sort of action behind it, nothing's going to change. And this is how manifestation works. The mind, the psyche, is a really big chunk of manifestation, but the other large chunk of manifestation is what you do with that mindset. So it's very, very important for us to match up, to align the mind with our actions. Mars is in the sign of Aries, is helping us to accept the fact, like, you know what, I've been asking for this and asking for this and asking for this, and he's almost tired of asking. He's almost to the point where he's like, you know what, damn it, I'm just going straight into war. Because I'm sick of this. Like, I'm sick of asking. I need to do something. I need to do something to help my chances of winning this battle. And so that's kind of where we're at right now with this new moon in the sign of Leo. And like I said, Leo is also a fire sign. Mars is in his own native sign, Aries. Aries is another fellow fire sign. So instead of just saying, man, I wish, I could fit into this 2-piece bikini for, summertime, instead of us just wishing and hoping and praying, and that this is just an example, Mars in the sign of Aries right now is saying, well, put down the Burger King or whatever it is. Let's get into the gym. Let's get a nutritionist, or let's get a what are these people called? You can tell I don't go to the damn gym at all. Like, I'm allergic to the gym. That's just my excuse right there. I'm allergic to the gym. But most people, trainers, there we go. Trainers. Yeah. Mars will help us to do that. Mars will help us to take the actions that we need to take, to better support our probabilities and chances of these things coming into our reality. He also gives us a reason to keep going as well. So Mars right now is giving us a lot of cause or drive to our intentions and dreams as he is trining the sign of Leo, the energy of Leo. And Leo is the energy of dreaming. Leo is all about dreaming big, being a very big dreamer, because Leo is known as the performer, like the sun. Everything revolves around the sun. Everything wants to see what the sun is up to, what the sun is doing. This is why Leo and the sun is known as very regal energy, almost like royalty in a sense, is very important. The sun is extremely relevant to the point where it's like we are dependent upon it. And this is why I always describe Leo energy as integrity as well, because without the sun, we're all fucked. But also as well, we have to talk about this. Mars is squaring Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. And all three of these planets, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, are all retrograde in the heavy dense sign of Capricorn. But Capricorn is the sign of karma. Capricorn is a sign of discipline, challenges, fears, complications. The goat is the mascot for Capricorn because the goat, goats in real life, they climb mountains and hills, like they're very good at it. These little frail creatures are really good at scaling impossible heights. And this is to say that Saturn and Capricorn energy wants us to overcome these hills, these heights, these challenges, these complications, these obstacles. So Saturn brings us issues as a gift. Saturn says, hey, I got a surprise. I got a gift for you. Here's this bullshit. And he does it with a smile on his face because he's saying you have the potential to scale this shit. So go on ahead. I'm gonna just sit back and watch you knock this out of the park. And so Mars is squaring with these really heavy energies is him admitting, this is too heavy for me to carry. This is him, like we were just talking about. Mars knows how to scout a fight. He knows how to determine which battle deserves him as a warrior and which one doesn't, because it's really important for us right now to preserve our energy. If he sees a battle that he might not be able to win, he's not going to go into that battle because he's like, the war needs me. These other battles need me. So if this is a battle that I cannot win, I'm more than willing to leave it there. And as much as that may sort of wound the pride of the god of war, he has enough pride as well to know, I'd rather me issue a letter of resignation than to get fired. That's how Mars looks at it. I'm going to step out instead of you actually defeating me. That's not happening. I'm going to stay in control over how this battle plays out. And if I'm seeing a losing battle, I'm not going to take that L. I'm the god of fucking war. What I'm going to do is I'm going to piece the hell out because this is not for me. That's not my battle. Some other god of war has to come in here and handle that one. That one ain't for me though. Not every battle is for us. And so we're really realizing that with this new moon in Leo. And this is the really hard but beautiful part of illumination as we're sitting in this sun energy. And we're sitting in the energy, we're sitting in the light of the truth, we're sitting in the light of the sun and in the light of illumination. And so if we allow this to happen, illusions will fall away and we're much more able to stop fighting for causes and people and situations, energies, memories, and experiences that refuse to change or that refuse to be an ally in this battle. And basically, if something refuses to meet you or to align with you, this is something saying, very clearly stating and saying, I'm not an ally for you in this fight or in this battle. And if you're not an ally, if you're not with me, you're against me. And not in a sense that it's like it's an enemy, but sometimes people are just, and especially if you're dealing with a person, sometimes people are at different paces or they're at different stages of their own journey and in their own lives. Sometimes they're older than you, but they are way further behind you in terms of emotional and mental maturity, spiritual maturity. When that happens, it's not that everyone that does that is an enemy, but they are an enemy towards where you're trying to go. And it's important for us to be able to recognize that and say, hey, I love you, but I have to love you from a distance when it comes to this part of my life or when it comes to my life in general, because you're not helping me. You're resisting me. You're holding me back. And that can be a very difficult thing to accept. And, and I say this sometimes, and it triggers a few people because I think they're just not understanding what I'm saying. But when you look at love, true love, unconditional love, if you truly love something, you are able to let it go. That is a very well-known saying of wisdom, right? If you love something, let it the fuck go. If it's meant to be, it's going to come right the hell back. And I've said this before, that when you truly love something, you give it enough freedom and space and opportunity to decide if it's going to love you back. Because that's what true love is. It's not like, I'm only going to love you because you love me. I'm only going to fuck with you because you fuck with me. I'm only going to be loyal to you because you're loyal to me. No, that means it's fleeting. That means it's able to change at any point in time, depending on the atmosphere and the situation. I want something that's real. When we deal with loyalty, we're not dealing with loyalty where it's like, you know what, I'm only loyal depending upon the situation. True loyalty is, I got your back no matter what. Even if we fall out, even if we're no longer in each other's lives. Show of hands, how many people have fallen out with people, but they didn't go around bashing their name in the streets? How many people have fallen out with people, but you're not praying and hoping and wishing for their downfall? How many people have you fallen out with that it's like, you know what, I love you, but from a distance? Or even if it's like, I don't love you anymore, I'm still not wishing anything bad for you. I just need to move on with my own life. That is called maturity, right? Just because somebody or something chooses not to love you back does not mean, I was never saying to keep that person or that being in your life. No, that is where the maturity comes in, where you are able to admit and to say, I love you, but you're no good for me. You decide where they stand in your life, where they sit in your life. You know, these illusions are falling away, and we're starting to see people's true colors. And even if those true colors are difficult or disturbing or not as pretty as what we once thought they were, because now we're seeing things from a different standpoint, from a different angle. Like I was saying, there is one truth, but a lot of different perceptions of that one truth. Just like there's one God, right? But there's a lot of different personifications of the divine. I am a personification of the divine. You are a personification of the divine. There's trillions of different personifications of the divine. We're starting to morph our perspective to others' perspective. It's being liquidated. And now I'm seeing from your angle. And if I don't like it, that's my choice. That's my option right there for me to pull my ass out of here. That's my free will, where I get to decide, hey, I might love you, but I can't fuck with that. I can't agree with it. I can't be in your life. You can't be in mine. We need distance. Or maybe I don't love you anymore. I just want to go my own separate way. And that's that. So it's an understanding or a clear statement of who and what is for or against you. That's what we're seeing very clearly here. Who or what is for or against your evolution, your progress, your goals, your dreams, your worth. Are the people around you, are they supporting your value, your esteem, who you are, your dreams, your goals, what you want to do? Or are they sitting back laughing at it? Are they sitting back saying that's never going to happen? You know, so and people are multifaceted. So while one friend of yours that you've been friends with since like preschool, you know, since the sandbox days, maybe they are really shitty when it comes to supporting you in your dreams and goals, but maybe they are amazing when it comes to supporting you in other aspects and areas of your life. People are multidimensional. People are able to be supportive in one area, but not in another area. And that's when it is up to us to assume that responsibility to say, okay, I have to compartmentalize you because that's the only way that you kind of work in my life. So I'll call on you for this thing, but when it comes to that other thing, I'm going to keep that to myself. And so this is what Mars is doing here. Now, another thing here that Mars is doing is Mars is sextiling the North Node and he is trining the South Node. And now the nodes, they are calculated axis points of Earth's moon. And the moon is the mother. It's the subconscious. It's our instincts, the internal self. And so with Mars trining and sextiling the nodes, this means that he is trusting his instincts. He is learning how to trust his instincts. He is learning how to trust his eyes. He's learning how to trust what he sees. He's learning how to trust in people's actions. This is a time right now for us to listen to people's actions, not their words. It's usually all the time we should be doing that. But you know, sometimes it depends. It depends. Every case is different, right? So we really have to trust in what we see and the signs and the red flags and even the promising signs. We need to trust in all of it, okay? Now, the actions, I mean. All right, so the next and final placement that we're going to be discussing here is Neptune retrograde in its native sign of Pisces, sextiling Pluto and Jupiter, both retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, okay? So when it comes to this placement here, one of the main things that I really want to say is to be careful, be very careful about harping on past negative or dark experience, and that can be exceptionally difficult when we're dealing with retrograde energy, and it's all about reflection. So obviously we're looking at where we've come from, but it's really important to not get stuck at the points that are really difficult or painful or intense. It's really important not to get stuck on those types of memories. We have to keep moving through our reflections in order for us to gain the most wisdom and insight that we can right now. Neptune is a planet of distortion. And this is because why I've been saying this entire video, all these perceptions are being liquidated into one is because of Neptune. Neptune is the world card. How we have the conscious, subconscious, unconscious, we have the superconscious. Neptune is the superconscious. She is the crystalline body. She is the ethereal body. Just like how we have the physical, mental, and emotional self, we also have the spiritual body that contains all these other bodies. That is what Neptune is. She is the vessel that contains everything, just like the universe. She is the collective. So when we're dealing with Neptune, it is very easy for us to get confused and discombobulated because we don't know our perception from something else's perception. It's hard to know your head from your ass when you're dealing with Neptune. When we're dealing with Neptune energy, she loves to escape because she's like, I don't like, damn it, I'm on Earth again. Like, no, I want to be back in the universe. I want to be everywhere. That's Neptune. So this is why I'm saying be very careful about harping on these different negative past experiences, because when we're dealing with Neptune and this energy that is right now for this new moon in Leo, it is extremely easy for us, like I was talking about, for us to manifest or conjure up these negative or past experiences because that's where our focus is. Like I was saying earlier, your focus is your intention. Intentions are directions. But when you're dealing with Neptunian energy, she will present that exact same issue to you all over again with a completely different person, with a completely new character, a completely different player. But it's the same exact energy or emotion or situation or experience. It's just dressed up differently when we're dealing with Neptune. Just like she could manifest a different person that gives you the same exact situation or experience, she could also manifest a completely new person that is trying to deliver you or take you out of this past experience. But because we're kind of focused or trapped in that energy of the past or of this sort of negative experience, we might be sort of more cynical and thinking like, oh, you're out to get me. So we could easily end up cynical or apprehensive or doubtful of a good thing dealing with Neptunian energy, because like I said, she distorts everything. Because this is exactly what we're conjuring. Neptune is basically conjuring this Pluto and Jupiter energy. Pluto is the dark mother. Pluto is the god of death, transformation, change, manipulation, power, influence, control. Pluto is an extremely dark planet. It's the furthest planet from the sun in our solar system. So it is dealing with all the dark, scary monsters, right? And so with Neptune interacting or sextiling Pluto and Jupiter is a planet of expansion, abundance. It's like a magnifying glass. It magnifies everything. Jupiter is also the planet of wisdom, resonance, resonating with something. So Neptune is conjuring this Pluto and Jupiter energy. And like I was saying, Pluto, it rules the dark, scary things. This is the unconscious. This is the part of us that we are least aware of. This is the shadow aspect of us. So she's conjuring up different shadow experiences to get us to deal with them in case we're not dealing with them, in case we're kind of flying right past them because we don't want to acknowledge them, or in case we stop and get stuck there. And she's going to end up conjuring that up. That's the way we can finally flush it out of our system. It's all about flushing out those toxins like we talked about earlier. So she's going to help to do that either which way she can. All the planets are helping us to evolve. That's what they're doing. So they're going to throw certain things in our face. And it's all about using these tools that they give us because they're really trying to help deliver us or bring us out of the past and out of certain situations. So with Pluto and Jupiter energies conjunct and retrograde in the same sign of Capricorn, what they're doing is they are remaking our fears and beliefs. So whatever it is that we believe in, ruled by Jupiter, and whatever it is that we fear, ruled by Pluto, is kind of getting conjured up through this other experience with Neptune. We're going to hold each other through this. We're going to get through it. We're going to be okay. And, I'm praying for you guys. You guys keep me in your prayers. And yeah, this is all that I have to say for the astrological portion. So let's just go on ahead and move on to the pick a card reading, get into this meditation, and I will see you guys over at your pile. In pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with your tarot cards before your oracle cards to see what this week has in store for you. So let's go on ahead and get started. The very first card that we have here is the Three of Swords in reverse. Then we have the Queen of Swords also in reverse. And the Page of Pentacles also in reverse. Okay, interesting. With the Three of Swords in reverse, you're detaching from someone or something that's brought you a lot of disappointment or anger or pain. You are no longer claiming this person or experience or memory, habit in your life, and because of that you may feel a bit numb with this Queen of Swords that's also in reverse over here. She's not the warmest queen. Even when she's upright, she doesn't have patience for anything or anyone's immaturity. She will not carry someone else's weight, responsibility, or job either. She sees everyone around her as capable. And with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, this is saying that you are fitting into this new mind frame. You're learning how to be someone that doesn't give a shit, essentially. I have to be frank, pile 1. You're just straight done with someone or something. You don't see the value in it anymore with this Page of Pentacles in reverse. And your heart has turned somewhat cold with this Three of Swords and Queen of Swords. This is also saying not even conversation can fix this or make this right. Not even finding a common ground. You're not interested in it anymore. This week, pile 1, some advice here is not to take on any extra pressures or responsibilities from others. If you can't be there, then say it. Do not try to force yourself to be there for someone else right now. When this week, you really have to be there for you. Unless you have dependents like kids or something, then obviously take care of those responsibilities. But do no more than what you have to do, is what I'm trying to say. I see someone coming to you either for advice or to drop off their issues and problems to you, kind of like normal, maybe like a friend or family member or something that normally maybe like calls you to sort of dump all their, kind of dump their things off to you, and you guys talk about it. This seems like a normal thing for many of my pile ones with this Page of Pentacles right here. And you're feeling on the inside a bit numb, just very unavailable, mentally, emotionally, spiritually unavailable, maybe even physically unavailable. So you may have to say, I cannot right now. You may have to take a day or two off from work even. For sure. You may have to ask someone to babysit, even though you normally wouldn't this week, pile one. Please give yourself the permission to be as selfish as you need to be in terms of being there for yourself and taking time for yourself. That's really, really important for you guys. I'm trying to see if I'm seeing anything else here, or if I'm just going to let the oracle cards do the talking. But this is just such a weird mix of energies, because it's like it's like this energy feels ungrounded. Like it's not very grounded, but at the same time, it's like you've never felt more sure about like, this is the next step that I need to take, or this was the right move that I made. It's like you've never felt more confident or more sure of it. Maybe you don't feel confident, but it's like, I feel sure about this, but it's like you just feel numb because it's going to take some time for you to process a bit. Yeah, let's go on ahead and just check out you guys' oracle cards. See what other messages it is that we're getting besides this one, because that's all I can really see with these cards, and I'm not going to force it. So the card that we have here, your magic spell card for the week, is, ooh, look at this. True love come to me. True love shall come to me, as I do will, so mote it be. Okay, that just got spicy real quick. The next card, look at, be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. Okay. Cardinal moon. So my pile ones, you may be a Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, or Libra with this cardinal moon here. You may have one of those signs in as your moon sign. You just may have a lot of that energy, cardinal energy in your chart. And the final, or in your chart, but the final card that we have here is birth. Okay. Interesting. And look at this pink that we kind of have going on here. This is rosy here. So, okay. Some of you guys may be getting a different offer that kind of takes you away from this other offer. That's why I think I was seeing you detach from something, because something better came along. So you're detaching from something that you used to put a lot of value and time and energy into. But because this thing or this person wasn't giving back to you in the way that you needed, something else is coming along for very many of my pile ones this week. And it's almost going to make you just completely give up. It's going to make you completely give up on this thing that you used to be attached to. And there's going to be no getting you back, because it's almost like you're going to see that, wow, the grass is definitely greener on the other side for me. Like there's no, like the grass is definitely greener, and that's going to make you just wash your hands of the situation. So this is what's happening here. You're clearing something or someone out of your life in preparation for someone or something new to come in. I'm going to flip some relationship cards for my singles and those in a relationship, but be bold and make the first move is imploring you to summon your Queen of Swords energy here. Be bold, direct, and say what it is that you want or need. Be selfish, take care of yourself. Also, there's a whole other message here for you guys to be bold in terms of love. If you see someone while you're out and you find this strong connection or attraction to this person, say it. Maybe walk up to them. Do something that's kind of out of the ordinary. This may be very out of the ordinary for you to be bold and make the first move. Maybe you're the type of person that likes to be chased or likes to be approached. But this is kind of saying switch it up this week, because you never know. There's something here where it's like it's a fresh start or a new beginning with this birth card. Be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon, and true love come to me. You're detaching from something. So there's definitely huge potential here for something to take root if you are bold enough to make the first move. And like I said, this may be kind of out of the ordinary for you, but definitely try it. There's some sort of new beginning in some way, shape, or form that is opening up here for you, for sure, with this birth card. Some of you as well are taking your first leap into the future. This is why a lot is being removed or is disappearing from your life. So don't be upset or shocked if something from your past seems to happen again, because you're gaining something that you are going to fall in love with, either a person, a job, a purpose, or a passion, something like that. So let's go ahead and flip a card for my people in relationships. And then for my people that are single, so let's see here. All right, so people that are in relationships, let's see, pile 1. People that are in relationships. Okay. So we have here, look at that, release your ex. You're letting something go. You're letting something go. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. You're definitely letting something go. And then we have here, let your friends help you. And it says, ask for and accept support from others. Okay, so pile 1, for those of you in a relationship, something here is about releasing your ex, letting go of your ex. Maybe your ex is coming back, trying to come back, texting you, popping back up in the picture, trying to play nice, nicey nice. You know, you know how to tell them to sort of go kick rocks. You know, you might need to say that because something here is, like I said, you're detaching from something, and we have the release your ex card here. And then we have let your friends help you. So maybe your friends have some really good advice to give you in terms of your relationship this week, pile 1, in terms of like, you know, if you're finding something difficult here, that could also be what this be bold and make the first move card here is, where it's like maybe it's out of the ordinary for you to go to other people and ask them for their advice when it comes to your own relationship and your own life, but do that. Let your friends help you. And let's flip a card for my singles here, see what we get. Let me put that there. Okay. My singles. All right. So kind of got 2 cards again. And so we have religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Okay, so this here is talking about your beliefs, what you believe in. You guys may be very, very different in terms of what it is that you believe in, but there, true love come to me. There's something different here. There's some sort of new beginning. And then we have, look at that, make the effort. Make the effort, like it says here, be bold and make the first move. Great love is worth taking the steps that you're guided to take. So be bold, make that first move, even if it feels out of the ordinary to you, whatever that means. Just try it anyways. Just because of the simple fact, I'm going to flip one more card for you guys. Just because of the simple fact that you never know what's going to happen here. Like I said, you're on the precipice of something new being birthed here. And let me just see a final card for my pile 1s. Final card for my pile 1s. We got 2 that came out. So we have here clearing. Again, another card that says clearing, you guys. Do you see that? Your energy is you're detaching from something. None of this matters. True statement. I am clear. Feel as any external energy is cleared from you and your space. You are energetically pure and can focus on the task at hand. Yeah, you're definitely clearing something. And then we have here Siberian fur. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it says, look at that. It's the card of acceptance. Trigger statement. We must remember. True statement. I am free of the habits that do not serve me. Again, clearing something out. And it says, lay down the armor passed down to you from your family, release habits that are not serving you, and forgive on behalf of generations past. Okay, so many of you guys as well are also clearing some sort of karmic, ancestral karmic debt, something like that. And then underneath the deck here we have, might as well just read it, vet verb, trigger statement, I need to escape. True statement, I am present. The root of the issue for you will make itself known. Be open to the information you receive from your body, mind, and environment. And this is the card of reconnection. Okay, so yeah, this is all that I'm seeing for my pile 1s. Very beautiful reading, but I see you guys having a really good week. As long as you kind of, take that time to yourself if you need to. If you need to be selfish, take that time to yourself. If you need your friends to help you, then reach out and say something. Be bold, make that first move. Summon that Queen of Swords energy, okay? Thank you guys so very much for watching. I pray this reading brought you guys love, support, clarity, and strength. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit for these messages today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon. But until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys. All right, and pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with your tarot cards before getting to your oracle cards to see what this week has in store for you. And let me just start off by saying that the second that I hit the record button, it turned 12:12. So that may be a very significant number for you guys this week, the number 12. So let's go on ahead and get started, okay? So the very first card that we have here is the Ten of Swords in reverse. Then the Seven of Pentacles. And the Chariot. Okay. Interesting. All right, pile 2. So You're going to be swimming in options this week. And let me explain why I see that. Because the Ten of Swords here is the card of death, but not like, where it's all said and done, like where it's all over, like, but in terms of dying, where you're still alive, but you're bleeding out, just waiting for death to take you. So this is in reverse saying, get up. It's safe for you to get up now. You can get up now. You're being resurrected. You're being saved from something that where the odds were stacked against you, where you weren't supposed to come back and win. Not if you were looking at the probability or the odds. It's like this something here was definitely supposed to overwhelm you or overtake you, and you're being almost saved from it. Okay, and there's not 10 swords in you anymore. You're being freed of that. So 10 of swords can be very heavy, oppressive energy. It can feel a lot like all these retrograde planets, basically. And so you're being freed of some sort of pressure. It's like you can breathe again. It's like you can take that breath of air again. 7 of Pentacles is the card of harvest, in a sense, because so much has grown or sprouted from your efforts. You trying to escape some sort of unwanted situation in your life with this 10 of Swords right here has planted seeds at some point with the 7 of Pentacles right here. And the Chariot says, move, it's time to go. Let's pick up these pentacles and go. Finding another home. Some of you are looking around this week, or you're actually going to sign a lease or like a mortgage or a contract or find a home this week. You are swimming or sitting on options like the 7 of Pentacles right here. This is what I'm hearing right now. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like talk and process this that's running through my brain at the same time. But do you see in the 7 of Pentacles right here? He's sitting on a nest. His nest is full of pentacles, options, money, opportunity, chances, choices. Very, very different from this 10 of Swords. Stark contrast from this 10 of Swords. So the Chariot is saying, all you got to do is pick one, whichever it is that you want. So many of my pile twos are getting the opportunity this week, especially if you have planted seeds or set intentions within the last 7 months, especially because we have both of these 7 cards right here, 7 of Pentacles and the Chariot, which is the number 7 card in the major arcana. Especially if you set intentions, planted some sort of seeds, been praying for something in the last 7 months, you're finding a new home or a place to nest. You're taking all your opportunities and carrying them somewhere else, because where you are now or were before, it's not conducive or safe or fertile for you. This wasn't a good place for you to harvest these seeds or for these blessings to hatch in your life. Spirit wants to put you somewhere else that's going to be a better home or safer or quieter for you. If this isn't a home, then it is a career or a relationship. It's somewhere where it's like, I'm taking you out of one place that you don't belong, and I'm setting you in a place where you feel comfortable, where you feel safe, where you feel like I can create, where that passion comes back to you, that life comes back into you. After almost having all this life sucked out of you, this life is coming back to you. So it's like, wow, I'm finally in a place now where it's like I can create, I can bring my ideas to fruition. I can work on my dreams and my goals. I can work on myself. I can get time to myself. I can find some peace. So that's kind of what's happening here this week for many of my pile twos. So especially if you, so this could also be saying if you lost a relationship or career opportunity in the last 7 months, or an opportunity to make money, many of my pile twos expect some changes this week. That's going to put you back in the position of where you used to be, but much better. Life is coming back to you. These chances are coming back to you. Wow. Okay, let's go in there and check out you guys' oracle cards, see what other messages it is that are here. Any messages that I may have missed. So this is your magic card for the week, and we have here authenticity, and it says, who I truly am is good indeed. I am authentic in thought, word, and deed. Interesting. Okay. The next card, look at this. Look at this, you guys. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. Wow. Next card that we have, don't let your past hold you back. South Node. Okay. All right. And then we have here the card of trust. Beautiful. Okay. luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. It's like, yeah. And it's interesting right now too, because we actually have the South Node in the sign of Sagittarius. And we have the South Node on Sagittarius card here. But yeah, for sure, we already kind of knew luck was on your side with the Seven of Pentacles and this Chariot card right here. And the bad card that we did have, this Ten of Swords, is in reverse to say that you're being freed. The odds were definitely against you at some point within the last 7 months, but that tide is turning this week for many of my pile twos. Do not let your past hold you back. Don't let anything from back there in the past make you question what you deserve in the present either. Trust in what you deserve. Trust in what you deserve. Okay? When you are authentic and you know what you deserve, you can trust in that. You can trust in that. Now, don't let the past fool you into thinking that you can't have something because you lost it at one point either. Trust, pile two, and authenticity. Something or someone wasn't real with you. Maybe you struggled with being more authentic in the past 7 months, and maybe you've been gradually coming out of your shell in the last 7 months. But for many of you, I'm feeling like somebody or something wasn't as authentic with you as how they were trying to come off. And you may have suffered behind that in some way. You may have lost your stability because of this. But this is why I'm saying that Spirit is putting you back in a place that is authentic, so your blessings and efforts can hatch safely without whatever this inauthenticity was possibly ruining that for you. You're being moved to a safer space. I keep hearing that. You're being moved to a safer space. You're being moved to a safer space. Could be literally or more metaphorical, because Spirit does do that a lot. Kind of leaves things open to interpretation, especially when we're working with general readings here and so many people are watching it. But yeah, for sure. Let me go ahead and flip a couple of relationship cards for my singles and relationship people. See what else it is that we're getting. So give me a second here. For my people in relationships, pile two, people in relationships. All right, so that's one card. I feel like there's one more though. Hold on. Relationships. Okay. So we have playfulness and keep an open mind. It says your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And then it says playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Okay, so for those of you in a relationship, my pile twos, keep an open mind and be more playful. So that could be something where it's like, what I'm kind of picking up from both these cards, I don't know why. Maybe for some of my people in a relationship, my pile twos, you may be kind of in a rut in your relationship right now. And keeping an open mind, I don't know why, but what I'm picking up here is like, especially if you guys are not talking, then try to do something different by being playful. Try to do something where it's like you strike up a conversation or you make a joke about something. Keep an open mind to me for some sort of reason sounds like do something different. Do something different, like play around, especially if you guys are kind of in a rut or kind of at odds right now, then do something completely different to change up that energy. As well as with keep an open mind. There may be something that your partner introduces to you that you may need to sort of kind of stay open to or be more open about. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that your partner may introduce something that maybe you didn't really know about before. Maybe you didn't really think that you were interested in it. And playfulness is saying maybe explore with it. Maybe try it out. See how it is that you like it. Because you never know. It could be something where it's like this strikes up a new kind of thing that you and your partner can enjoy together, so it's like maybe like let's just say for example your partner's like, hey, let's go try golf or sushi or something, and you've never been into it before. Playfulness is also saying, in a way, keep an open mind, try it out, see how you like it, because this could maybe like start a new like hobby for you guys, or this could be something that you guys sort of start where it's like now you guys have something in common. Now you guys have something that you can share together, and this could really help strengthen your relationship this week. Let's see for my singles. Okay. One more for my singles. All right. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Okay. And then we have here heart-to-heart conversations, and it says honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Okay, so for my singles, it sounds like there's some sort of forgiveness that needs to happen first with with someone in your life possibly. In order for you to kind of free yourself or free your heart space, your heart chakra, that the way you can be open, that the way you can be emotionally available and emotionally open and more authentic with this new person that you meet, as well as heart-to-heart conversations is also saying, again, it's just another callback to this authenticity card here. Be authentic. Don't let your past hold you back. Any sort of past situations, don't let any of that happen. Don't let any of it sort of keep you from expressing yourself. If there's some sort of new person that you end up meeting this week, or if you're trying to sort of date this week, then be as authentic as you can by having these open conversations, and as well as forgiving and learning. There's somebody here maybe this week for my pile twos, my singles, that you're going to be kind of looking to forgive, because it's really going to help free up your heart space. Something with the heart chakra here. Let me just get one final card for my pile twos. Have I been calling you guys pile one? I hope not. With my pile twos, let's see, one more card. Okay, we kind of have three. Okay. So the very first one that we have is Clove, and it's the card of presence. And it says here, trigger statement, why did this happen to me? True statement, how did this happen for me? And then it says, know that you are the star. Trying to get this focus. Know that you are the star of your life, my dear. You are the lead, and the audience is here for you. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like what we were talking about with the don't let your past hold you back. And then we have here Patchouli, earthly, trigger statement, I hate my body. True statement, my body is my temple. I love that. Remember that you are a spiritual being having an earthly experience. Revere your loyal, sacred body. Could also be what authenticity is talking about here, as well as don't let your past hold you back. There could be some sort of feelings that you have of your own self, your own body from the past that could be holding you back from really loving yourself now, that you're working through this week. And then we have the final card, Douglas Fir. I think I'm saying that right. And this is the card of resolution. Trigger statement, the past haunts me. Don't let your past hold you back. True statement, in this moment, I am free. Let yourself be the one to heal the wounds passed down from your ancestors. The release and growth begins with you. We also have this forgiving and learning card here. So yeah, for very many of you guys, you're releasing something very interesting, because we also kind of got that message a little bit in one of the other piles, where you're kind of releasing, possibly releasing some sort of ancestral karma, some sort of ancestral baggage that you may have inherited that was never yours. And I don't know how much of the astrological portion of the video that you guys watched, but that's exactly what I touched on. So you guys can definitely check that out if you haven't, to get more details there and to get a more in-depth reading as well, to combine it with this tarot reading here for your week. But your week really looks beautiful. It looks like there's a lot of healing with the heart space, as well as it looks like there's a lot of opportunities coming to you guys, because you guys are really sort of you're moving on from your past, you're healing your past, and that's where all these opportunities and chances are coming back. Like it says here, the past haunts me. Don't let the past hold you back. Why did this happen to me? All that is being washed away. Luck is on your side, so just trust in that. Okay, pile two. So this is all that I'm seeing for you guys. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray this reading brought you guys love, support, clarity, and strength. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon. But until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys. All right, and pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off your tarot cards before getting to your oracle cards to see what this week has in store for you, this week of the new moons. Let's go on ahead and check out your tarot cards. The very first one that we have here is the Star. Then we have the Four of Swords. And then the Knight of Swords. Okay. All right, pile 3. So, interesting pile of cards here. Very interesting, very conflicting for sure. The Star signifies rest, and so does the Four of Swords. But the Knight of Swords is very active, quick to make a move. Something's going to pop off out of nowhere, pile 3. And because all these cards deal with the air element, this can easily come from communication or being noticed by others, possibly even online. Many of you guys may be in the midst of creating something, or you may be revamping, sort of taking a break even so you can change some things around. Maybe you're kind of just starting something, but this Knight of Swords is screaming at me in the midst of you having some downtime, something blows up and calls to you. So whatever this is that has major potential of taking off is connected to you. That's why this Knight is charging ahead, because someone or something has stirred or called out to him. Something said its name and he's responding quickly. I don't know how many people this is, but for sure, this could be overnight success of some sort. This week, for some of you, for sure, this could be an overnight success or a blow up. That's what I mean when I say like something could definitely blow up out of nowhere for some of my pile threes. And I know that won't apply to everyone. That could be a very specific message for a few of you here, for a handful of you here. But for sure, this looks like something could very easily pop off in terms of success or a lot of recognition, because we have so much air energy here. Another visual I'm getting is someone being forced to start over or to remodel or to reshape something. And in the middle of this renovation, all these people or influence or distractions, they start hitting you up. And it's like, I'm trying to focus on what I've got going on. I'm trying to focus on what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to plan. I'm trying to, do something here. And people not noticing or respecting that kind of causes a little bit of a conflict here. It's a little conflicting here, because people are not noticing or respecting how much it is that you have on your plate, or what it is that you're trying to do, or how little it is that you have on your plate. Maybe you're trying to get some extra sleep in this week. Maybe you're trying to take some time off and you don't want to be fucking bothered. And it's like people are not noticing or respecting the fact that you need some downtime. That's what I'm picking up here as well. There's this feeling of wanting to escape and get away from that with this Knight of Swords here, so you can handle what you need to do without being pulled in a million different directions. Or it's like I'm shutting my phone off. Like I'm throwing it out of the window. That the way I can get a couple extra hours of sleep. Like, stop hitting me up, something like that. It could just be something as simple as that. It's like the moment you say, I'm taking some time off, or I need some time to do me, or to focus on this, or I need some time to myself, all of a sudden it's like everyone's reaching for you. All of a sudden it's like everyone needs you. This feels very unfair for some of you, and that may lead you to wanting or needing to just get away, to avoid saying something while frustrated or annoyed, or speaking hastily out of anger. So I see something else here too about you only having enough time to sleep and work this week. So you could get easily frustrated with people bringing trivial shit to you, because it's like, do you see everything that I'm juggling or what I've got going on here? Without people understanding that, they may see you as too focused on the goal, and they may feel a bit neglected, or they may feel like they're not important to you, or they may feel like you're trying to avoid them. They may feel like they may accuse you and say like you're trying to ghost me. But with your focus being so direct, there's potential for something to blow up or to hit big out of nowhere this week with my pile threes. There's big potential for that. And this could be success in anything. Like maybe it's like you're trying to lose those extra 2 pounds or something, and then boom, out of nowhere you wake up and you drop 3 pounds. This could be you're trying to get something off the ground, then boom, out of nowhere something goes viral. Maybe you're trying to set up some sort of a shop or something, then boom, out of nowhere you get 30, 40, 50 new clients. It's like something sort of rushes in that you weren't expecting. But it feels really, really good because the star is here. The star comes after the tower, and she's here to rebuild. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards here. See what else it is that we're seeing. Very first one, look at this. Look at what we have. We have harvest. As the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me to harvest. I am ready to receive my all. Exactly. You're working on something with the star here. Like I said, you're revamping, rebuilding something. The next one, look at that. The next card that we have, nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. Final card that we have here is stillness. Wow. That's funny. This is incredible. Nothing is yet set in stone. Like I said, you are rebuilding or remaking something, and it is not finished yet. You're not done yet. And it's crazy how we have the stillness card here besides this mutable card. Because mutable energy is fluid. It morphs from one thing into another. It never really sits still. It's kind of like a chameleon. So that's the opposite of stillness. Like I first mentioned with your tarot cards, how the Star and the Four of Swords are very different from this Knight of Swords. Very, very different. Stillness as well looks like throat chakra here because of this blue, or it looks again like a call to all this air element here. So you may be an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or have a lot of those signs energy in your chart. There's a lot of air element here. So this could also be saying that things out of nowhere are going to move very fast. Word of mouth, something is coming through as well with word of mouth. That could be another way that you kind of strike big, is that it just takes, it's kind of like that 6-degree separation where it's like it just takes one person to tell another person to tell the right person, and then boom, something goes viral, or you end up with an extra like 100 clients, like brand new clients or something crazy. Or you end up with that new promotion or that new opportunity, that new interview, that new home. So this could as well be conversation that takes a turn out of nowhere. So be mindful of that as well. You may be dealing with some dramatic people or reactions this week as well. As harvest, like I said, some of you have major potential this week to hit big with something like overnight success. So for sure, anytime we have some sort of overnight success, just before things pop off, just before things go our way, things kind of seem to, it kind of seems like somebody throws like a grenade in the middle of our situation as we're just finishing something up or just trying to get something off the ground or just trying to get something together. It's like, boom, now you want to start acting stupid. Now you want to start acting needy. Now you want to be all clingy. Now you need me for this and need me for that. And so it's like, the moment that this is about to happen for you is going to seem like everybody needs you and is trying to take you away from this thing. This is how you're going to know. This is your sign right here that something is on the way for you. Something big's on the way for you. Let me pull some extra cards here for my people in relationships as well as my singles. Just going ahead. Give me a second here. People in relationships for pile 3. Okay, so we got the forgiving and learning card. And it says here, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And then it says, give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. Okay. And this is for my people in a relationship. Forgiving and learning, and give your relationship a chance. Like I said, it sounds like a lot of, there's like a lot of air element, air energy here. So there could be a lot of conversations happening between you and your partner. For those in my pile 3s that are in relationships, as well as forgiving and learning, you may need to forgive your partner this week. Your partner may need to forgive you for something this week. Like I said, right before something takes off, shit is going to seem to go haywire in a sense. And it's like not necessarily like haywire like bad or negative or really tragic or something like that, but just in a way where it's just like everybody needs you. And so, like I was saying before, be very careful about how it is that you come off, because you may be very frustrated because it's like, I'm trying to focus on this and everybody keeps, screaming that they need me for something or for this and that. I just need some peace and quiet. Just give me like 10 damn minutes, And so it's like, you may kind of be a little bit snappy this week. So your partner may need to forgive you. You may need to forgive them, because you being a little bit snappy or you being like a little bit irritable or short or tired. Because like I said, I see you like working and sleeping. And that's almost it this week. So if that's really all that you're doing, that means that you're almost overworked, because you're really trying to this is like that final stretch, like the 11th hour. So for sure, you may have a sort of reaction, your partner may have a sort of reaction that you guys kind of need to talk out and forgive each other for. Give your relationship a chance, really work on this partnership. Don't just walk away and just kind of like leave them hanging, eventually come back to it and talk it out, because it's something small. For many of you guys, it's something small. Now take it as it resonates, because something crazy happens, then you do what you got to do. But for many of you, it's just going to be a case of like being irritable, being tired, trying to focus on something. And it's like people aren't respecting the fact that you need that space. You just need that space and time right now. You can't be there for other people right now. Not this week. All right, for those that are single. All right, let me get one more. One more for those that are single. So we have codependency here and healing family issues. It says your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. And codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. So this sounds like either which way. There's something here for my singles in pile 3 that needs to heal. You need to forgive your family. And maybe sometimes forgiveness is not always about keeping people in your life. Forgiveness is not about giving them a second chance. Forgiveness is about you being able to move on with your life and saying, I'm wiping the slate clean. I'm leaving these demons here because I cannot keep taking them with me. I cannot stay angry about what happened in the past. I cannot keep this with me because it is seeping its way into my relationships and into my adult life, and I need to let that go because there's a lot that I'm trying to harvest here. There's a lot that I'm trying to bring into my life. I'm trying to take my life in a different direction, so that means that I need to sort of leave my past in the past, and that may be where a lot of codependency is coming from. If you're struggling with something like codependency, it may be coming from you not being able to let go or to forgive whatever has happened in your past with your family. If you're healing some sort of family issues, you could as well be healing some sort of relationship from the past. A relationship that didn't work out. But for sure, it's for sure for some of you, for very many of you, it's healing family issues. And it says as you forgive your parents. And so, like I said, there's a lot of air energy here. So for sure, you could definitely be dealing with having a conversation with your parents this week for those of you that are single. And this could also be like you just coming clean and saying, hey, you know what? I'm not doing very well because of what happened in my childhood. I'm dealing with certain addictions, or I'm dealing with certain issues in my adult life because of what happened 20, 30, 40 years ago, and I need to talk about this. I need to get this out. This could as well be something like therapy, but you really working through those issues is going to help sort of turn around your dating life. So that may be a big focus for you this week that are single. My pile 3s that are single. All right, let's get one final card here for my pile 3s. All right, final card that we have here, the card that says Melissa. And it is the card of purpose. Trigger statement. What is the point of it all? True statement. I am special. You have a unique place in this world with gifts and talents that only you can provide. Use your connection with the divine to share them. You have a unique place in this world. And look, we have the star card right here. We have the star card saying that you have a unique place in this world that only you can provide. You can provide certain gifts and talents to the world. Use your connection with the divine to share them. And let me just look underneath the deck here to see what we've got. And we have here digestive processing. Trigger statement, I am so worried. True statement, I have the solution. Slowing down and listening to your inner voice will provide you with direction and purpose. So yeah, nothing yet is set in stone. There could be some course, some like redirection of your course here. You're trying to kind of pivot from where it is that you come from. And so I don't know how much of the astrological portion of this video that you guys saw, but I definitely touched on that a lot. So if you want some more details with that, you can go back and check that out if you haven't seen it. But yeah, for sure, digestive is trying to say that you're trying to release it. You're definitely trying to release it. It's kind of like slowing down and listening to your inner voice. So these 3 cards here could also be you listening to your inner voice. And then it also says here the card of stillness. And then we pulled the card here that says slow down and listen. So that may be something that definitely needs to happen this week. Okay, but this is all that I'm saying for you guys. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I do pray this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages today. Hope you all come back to visit me sometime soon. But until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys.